I'm going to share my screen and just walk through some important things to think about when a new month happens. I like when a new month happens, it gives us a chance to reset. It gives us a chance to see what we've done, but also to think about what to do for the future. I'm also a person that likes streaks. Anybody like streaks? I like creating streaks like in a row. So doing things where none of y'all saying y'all like streaks. I'm weird like that. Like where you can start counting and you just add up how many days in a row that you've done something. I particularly like that. So what we're going to do here is hopefully I'll find the document and then we can, yeah, there it is. All right. And then we can talk through some things to track on a monthly basis. And hopefully this helps you think through your activities for January. Okay. All right. So first things first. Okay. You should be asking the question as often as possible, if not every day. Okay. Every week or every month. What happened and what will we change? Okay. So, what happened is a great question to ask at the end of every day. What will we change is a great question to ask at the end of every month for sure. Okay. And so, at the beginning of the month for January, one of the good questions is how many calls did I make? Okay. I know that some people are doing in person acquisitions. You're doing appointments with sellers in person. Some people are doing virtual calls. Okay. My team is doing virtual calls. So I asked how many calls were made in the month of January. Okay. What I'm looking for is something around 200,000 calls to have made, have numbers and know how many calls we have to make in order to get so many offers out. But you can do this for yourself, just like review, like how many calls did I make? Right. Then you ask, what will I change? Did I make enough calls to get enough offers out, or do I need to make more calls for February? Okay, so for each one of these things, you look at how many calls did I make, and then what do I need to change? Okay. Also ask about the number of texts sent, right? This is outreach. You notice these first two are outreach. How many calls did I make? How many texts did I send? Right? This is communication looking for, this is if you're doing outbound lead generation. Okay. How many social media posts did I make? Okay. Did they work? Isaac, you were making a ton of social media posts this past month, right? So you can ask how many social media posts did I make and what was the result? Do I need to change it? Did I get engagement? Do I need to shift something? But you can ask how many social media posts you made. New investors added to your network. Okay. How many new people did you add to your network in January? This is a great question to ask. You could also, for this one, ask how many people did I rekindle a relationship with? It might not be new investors. It might be people that you had forgot about, or they forgot about you, or you just haven't talked to in a while. How many new investors did I add to my network in January? Okay, maybe it was getting on meetup calls like this. Maybe it was social media groups. In our 90-day challenge, Chidi, like I love seeing how you and Michael and Twana and like you all are starting to reach out to each other. Fantasia, y'all are checking in with each other, checking on each other's progress. That is the work of being a real estate investor, right? Is creating connections with investors, both new and old relationships. Okay. So for February, you ask how many investors did I add to my network? And what do I need to change about that for February? Us personally, in my business, one of the ways that I add new investors to my network is these Monday calls, right? I do these Monday calls. I've been doing this for y'all. I've been doing these calls for almost 4 or 5 years. Okay. And always have new people come in. It's also a way for me to tell new people that I meet where they can find me later. But we also do an in-person group locally as well. So this is a way for local investors to come in, meet us in person, and it creates new connections and networks. Okay. You can also use your social media for this. So a lot of the posting that we do on social media is to generate relationships with new investors. We love when people comment on a post because they're probably going to get some kind of DM from me asking if we can talk or asking if we can make a connection. Probably everybody on this call has got a DM from my team at some point where we're trying to create a relationship, right? Or we're trying to create a connection, see how we can help. So that's a good one to track as well. Offers made. This should be higher on the list. How many offers made in January? Okay. If you're not making offers, it's impossible to get deals. So this is one of those where we encourage you to be making offers every single day. And even if the offer seems like it's a no way, opportunities come when we make offers. This is one of those that I've already told my team this morning, we have to make more offers in February. Okay. So you ask, how many offers did we make? And then you ask, what will we change? Right? What do we need to change? How can we make more offers? How can we make it easier to get the offers out if we're having trouble? I can share with y'all that one of the issues that I'm having is that it's been difficult to find virtual assistants who understand how to like generate a lead and make an offer. It seems like usually the ones who know how to generate a lead don't necessarily know how to make an offer. Trying to train them to do that is challenging. So this month we're going after virtual assistants who specifically know how to make offers. And hopefully we find one or two to add to our team so we can make sure that offers are getting out and we're getting more offers instead of just generating leads. Okay. All right. Deals closed. How many deals did you close in January? This is probably like the best metric, right? How many closings were there in January? As real estate investors, we make money from transactions. Okay. Excuse me. You need to look at how many deals closed. Deals closed counts as refinances, purchases, sales. How many deals closed in January? And you can see how these would spin off of each other. So if you're or sending texts or prospecting, social media, whatever you're doing to get leads, you're not going to be getting many deals closed. If you're not making offers, impossible to get deals closed. But you're looking at how many deals did we close in the month? And then fast forward, what was the profit per deal? This is a good way to start looking at your money. If I did 3 deals, I think we did 3 deals in January. So we didn't do a ton. Okay. 3 deals in January, and our average profit per deal was 11,000. Okay. Then I can now see, okay, how much effort did I put in and what was my cost per number of calls or number of text messages. So you want to be tracking your profit per deal as well and asking, what will you change? Do you want your profit per deal to go up? Do you like where it's at? Could you do more deals and maybe take a little bit less profit? These are questions that you ask at the end of every month, okay? If not more often. The next one, what was my best marketing channel for January? Okay. So if you're doing multiple marketing channels, if you're cold calling, if you're texting, if you're also posting on social media, if you're paying for leads, some of you are paying for leads, you need to be looking at what was your best marketing channel for January. Okay. For us, it's cold calling. Okay. Cold calling is the best marketing channel right now. But sometimes the best marketing channel is wholesalers, like other relationships with other wholesalers. You need to look at where is your deal flow coming. Twana, this would be a good question to ask for you because I know you're doing some like foreclosure lists and pre-foreclosure lists, things like that. Like you should look at, do I get more deals from posting on social media or do I get more deals from calling the pre-foreclosure list? What is your best marketing channel, okay, for January? This does change, y'all. Like this changes. Sometimes we get more deals from certain channels, and this is why it's a good question to ask on a monthly basis. All right, next is lessons learned. What did you learn in January? This is good. Okay. What did you learn? What lessons did you learn last month? Okay. Y'all, I learned this lesson too often. I learned this lesson too often. Okay. I actually learned two lessons in January. I'll put them both out there for the public. The first lesson I learned in January, and I should have learned this lesson over and over again. You can't buy too high. Don't buy too high, right? You make your money when you buy. So in January, we put a property under contract too high, and it took the whole month to get rid of it. Took the whole month to get rid of this property. And I was trying to get rid of it up until Friday, finally got rid of it. But it took a lot of time to get rid of it because I just contracted it too high. Lesson learned, you make your money when you buy, stick to your offer criteria, okay? And don't put things under contract too high. Second lesson, y'all, you got to avoid distraction at all costs. Okay? These are my lesson for January. Avoid distractions at all costs. Distractions come in different forms, and we can't always control where they come from. Distractions can be people, distractions can be food, distractions can be I got sick last week. Anybody else got this flu thing that went around? I got it. And I couldn't help it. Went out of town, see my wife's family, come back sick, and it cost me 2 or 3 days last week. Okay, so avoid distractions at all costs as a second lesson learned. We'll come back to that one because I want to hear what lessons y'all learned for January, but I'm going to go through these last few here. Deals under contract. So this is another question to ask for January. How many deals did you put under contract? Okay. This one is probably the quickest one to tell if you have a healthy real estate business. Okay. If you don't have anything under contract right now, then you're not making offers. Okay. You're not making enough offers. But you constantly need deals under contract as a real estate investor because you can wholesale them, you can flip them, right? You can buy them yourself. But if you have no deals under contract, then you have no deal flow, right? And we're not doing this for fun, right? We should have deal flow so that we can have cash flow. Okay. So deals under contract, something to track for January. How many properties do you have under contract? At the beginning of every month, Darian will tell y'all, like one of the things that we're doing is we start from zero. So we start from zero. This is the first workday of February. Like how fast can we get properties under contract for February so that we have income potential, right? You don't have income potential without deals under contract. So track that for January as well. And then, of course, revenue earned. This is another thing to track. How much money did you make in January? This is a good one to track as well. This list could be a lot longer, but I think this is a great place to stop, maybe have some discussion. But for each one of these, you want to ask what happened and what will we change? Okay. So I'll open up the floor and let you all maybe pick one of these and talk about what happened in your business in January and then what needs to change. Floor is Who's gonna go first? Go.
Okay, I will. Hey, everybody. So for me, it's going to be the majority of these. So the social media post and making more offers to get more deals under contract. But yeah, the majority of these fit me.
All right, so Twana, let's go for this one. Social media posts. Let's ask what happened. Did you make any social media posts related to your business?
I think I did the first day that you mentioned it on the call, but it didn't stay on my tracker.
But you did make a social media post.
I
Do you remember the result of that post?
Sweet garden. Sorry. Marriage village. I didn't get anything.
Okay, no response. I'm not seeing the social media post on your page, so you say it didn't stay on there.
Hold on real quick.
I'm looking at Facebook. I do see that she has on her main Facebook page, her intro says real estate investor. So that's good, right? Like she has it listed there. That's what she does. A couple of other people this month that I know make posts related to their real estate business. Ramon's in the room. Hey, Ramon. Good to see you, man. So Ramon makes posts all the time. Shoot, Ramon made a post 6 hours ago. Beautiful house that he's got listed as an agent. Man, you got nice pictures of the house, man, with the snow and everything, Ramon. That's nice. It's gorgeous.
And that one
Um,
in my, I was just sharing.
oh, just sharing for somebody else. Okay, let's. Hey, look. Oh man, yeah, we should have talked yesterday about Luca and Anthony Davis. I see several business related posts on Ramon's page. Ramon, like maybe you go through this. Like, how is the social media post helping your business, and or do you need to change anything about your strategy for social media?
I think consistency is key. You got to just keep over and over. They may not like or comment, but they're
They
watching.
watching.
So you just got to
Oh,
stay
they watching.
top of mind. I can be more consistent with it, but it definitely runs hand in hand with your consistency. And everybody needs to switch it over to the account where you could track it. Like it actually should tell you how many views and stuff. If you hadn't already done that for everyone. I think you just got to change to a digital creator or something like that. It gives you a few choices. I think that's the easiest one. But once you switch it over to that type of account, you can start getting paid and you can actually track your numbers and see if they like it or just watch it. They give you like a number of views that you actually got, even though if nobody likes it.
Yeah, that's good. You've
You have to
seen
switch that on
business. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Isaac. Go ahead.
Ramon. You switch that just on your Facebook page?
Yeah, just on your personal page, yep. And you can start getting that feedback from them that tell you how many people clicked on it, how many people watched it. I actually started getting a little small checks, $20, $30 here. I can at least get something Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, look into that. That's something that makes a lot of sense for a lot of us that are posting consistently to social media is to switch over to a creator account instead of just using Facebook for like family posts and stuff like that. I'm looking at Isaac's Facebook right now, and so we can see for like January, we can see that he's got his company Blue Alpha. He's got a pinned post that lets people know that he's doing purchases and sales and property management. He's got a pinned post so that when people go to his page, the first thing they see is real estate related content. See, when he posted his card, he's got all these people who liked the post. If you're not clicking on this, y'all, click on who liked the post and message all of those people. Send them a message, a DM that says, "Hey, how are you doing? Checking in. I saw you like my post. Let's just have a conversation." They are telling you that they're interested in whatever you posted, and those are good conversation starters, right? You have something in common. He's also got people who commented, okay, under the post. So that's a great thing. But I love what Ramon said too. Sometimes people are not commenting or liking the post, but they are still watching. So ask yourself, what did you do and what needs to change? Okay. For social media for February. Okay. Also, one of the things that I noticed about Isaac's post in January is he's using AI to generate some of his posts and some of his graphics. So he's using ChatGPT or other AI tools to make it easier for him to think of ideas and also for him to create graphics. I can't wait to see that pay off for him if it's not paying off already. The more people who know what you do, the better for your business. So that's why social media is not a bad thing. The more people who think of you when it comes to real estate or business, the more income you're going to generate. So that's good. All right, somebody else. Pick one of these. Tell us how you did for January and what needs to change.
For me, definitely need to post more on Facebook.
Who's that right there?
Just cheating.
Can y'all hear okay today? Because when y'all talk today, it's like funny in my ears.
Oh,
Can y'all
okay.
hear him? Oh, I
I
hear
hear
you
you.
good, Chidi. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so I need to post more. Obviously, need to get the offers up and out there. But I think a big thing for me at least is the lessons learned of when I'm talking with other people, whether it be a property manager, financial institutions, lenders, and whatnot, and just asking them about owners and being able to have conversations with owners that, let's say, they have a lot of interaction with, that they trust, that they like. More often than not, a lot of these people, they may say, no, I don't have anybody for you to talk to, and that's fine. But a lot of times they'll like, yeah, let me look and I'll think about it. And if I find somebody, I'll give you the contact, or they'll just tell me straight up right then, yeah, you can talk to so-and-so person. They're really nice. And then when you talk with those people, you're talking with the owner already. And sometimes these owners, they got some really nice properties that obviously they're never going to let go of. But some of them maybe have some really annoying nuisance properties, some things that they're maybe just letting slide by the wayside, and they may be open to sell and whatnot. And that's kind of obviously piggyback on the whole thing with in Tucson meeting up with this one guy. And so it wasn't through a cold call or anything like that. It was just from talking with the lender and just asking the lender if they had any owner contacts that I could talk to just to kind of network with. And it's just a simple question.
That's good. That's good. And Chidi, one of the things for you to think about is whatever marketing channel works, dig deep into that. So
Okay.
a lot of people will get stuck on cold calling or texting or paying for leads. But the marketing channel that works for you might be calling lenders and asking them if they have sellers, right? Like your marketing channel could be calling realtors directly and just asking them if they have pocket listings. Like whatever works for you, go down that rabbit hole further.
Yeah.
So I noticed like in Tupelo, for example, where we buy lots of rentals, it's actually easier for me right now just to make offers on the MLS than it is to pay for leads. Mainly because if somebody's motivated and it's on market, they're going to respond the same day to an offer versus us trying to like find them using all this mail and pay all this money for not as big of a profit potential. So you have to look at what works in the market that you're working in. And if like in January, networking was your biggest one, then dig deeper into networking. So for February, you could just be like, hey, instead of cold calling this month, I'm just going to network and see what that does. And then next month you ask the question again, like, how did that work for me? Did I make any more offers? Did I get some deals from it? And then make an adjustment again. That's pretty cool, man. Thanks for sharing that. All right, who's next? Pick one of these. What happened in January? And then what will you change?
My thing for me is offers made. I did make some offers this month, but definitely not enough. And I think that comes from also with me need to make more calls. I did invest in Mojo Dollar, which is helping me get through the calls, but you still have to definitely time manage it. You still have to be able to sit down and work that software to get through them all efficiently. So I'm definitely working on overall time management this month, actually really dedicating and isolating some time much as possible in between and after work to get those calls in so I can make more offers.
Yep. So the question to ask is how many offers did you make? Okay. You got to find out what that number really is, right? You're in our challenge. So we really want to see you making 15 offers a week, right? You should be making 3 offers a day. So if you're making 15 offers a week, you should get a deal in a month's time. So we probably are not making 15 offers, right? Because that's hard, right? 15 offers, man, I got to make 3 every day. But if we're not making the offers, the question, Chidi and I walked through this last month, is what's causing the delay in making the offers? I'm cold calling and I'm not even talking to 3 people a day. That's the problem, right? So we got to figure out how to make sure we talk to at least 5 a day. If you're in the challenge, we say 5 conversations every day, talk to 5 sellers. And so if you're cold calling lists and you're not able to talk to 5 people a day, I suggest that you start calling realtors, okay? Because you're going to get 5 conversations a day. That's the bare minimum. Start making offers on the MLS. That's going to get you your minimum of 3 offers, and then work your cold calling strategy. Because if you're not making the offers, you have no chance to get a deal. Right? I love it. I love the idea of looking at how many offers you made in January and then saying, okay, I need to step that part up. But if you want to get deal flow, you have to make offers. And so don't go days without making offers because there's nothing going to happen. Like nothing going to happen. And obviously, the bigger deals, the better deals come off market. We get that. And if you're not paying for leads yet, which some of you should be, if you're not paying for leads yet, then you're going to be cold calling, you're going to be texting, cold texting, you're going to be door knocking. I think somebody in our group talked about door knocking last week. So you're going to be doing those things that are high time commitments, but do the low hanging fruit first. Call the MLS in your area where you're interested in buying and look for motivation right on the MLS so that way you still are making offers, putting your name out there. And you never know, y'all. Like they're probably all going to say no until they don't. Or they're all going to say no until somebody calls you back and says, are you still buying? I remember us talking about you looking for off-market properties, or you looking for properties that need work or renovation. Are you still buying those? And that's where you'll see, because you made those offers, things are coming back your way. Okay. So minimum 3 offers a day. Okay. Minimum 3 offers a day.
Jonathan,
All right.
even
That's
on
good.
the, I know
Go ahead.
I've been finding houses that fit my criteria, but been on the market like maybe 30 days. And I've been talking to realtors and putting in offers, but a lot of them, even though they're there in 30 days, a lot of them aren't motivated. So it wouldn't be a waste of time. Would you consider that a waste of time? Because we, like you said, we don't know. So we should still continue to go ahead and make those offers.
I still would gauge their motivation. Yeah, I still would gauge their motivation, Isaac. And Ramon is doing a lot of like on market activity, like listings for people. So he may be able to speak to this. I still gauge motivation before I make an offer. So I'm not just saying just make offers. If you could tell that the realtor is not motivated, the owner's not motivated, I'm not saying waste a lot of time making offers on those. But what I would do is I would call Ramon and I would say, hey, I see you've got this listing. It's been on the market for 60 days, 90 days even. Have you got any offers that your sellers turned down? Okay. Ramon's a good realtor. So Ramon's going to start off by saying, I can't really tell you anything specific, but I know the buyer is really wanting to sell this. I know the sellers really want to sell this. And he's like, I'm an investor. Usually I buy properties at a discount, but I close fast. I don't have any inspection requirements. I'm looking for a good deal. Do you think should submit an offer? Most realtors are going to let you know the motivation right when you say that. They're going to say something like, oh, they're not going to accept a low ball, or they've received offers at a certain price and they're not going to take anything less. Or they're going to say, I just need you to bring me an offer. Bring me something to present to my seller. I submit offers on those. So submit offers where the realtor shows some motivation. I also will ask them, are you willing to present any offer to the seller? Like they're supposed to, but they don't. So I would ask them that before I send the offer. I don't just like blanketly send these offers because you're right. Most of them, they're not motivated yet. So in your market too, where you're at, like maybe you should push it to 60 or 90 days because you're in a hot market, right? With South Carolina, North Carolina, those are hot real estate markets right now. So maybe push it out to 90 days or 120 days that something's been on the market, and then have conversations with those realtors to see if there's some motivation out there. Keep in mind that if you're trying to do wholesaling, this strategy might not be the best strategy. Okay. This is really for people that are buying flips, or if you're buying like rentals, or if you're willing to close on the property yourself, you have a good buyer's list, this is a good strategy. But if you're just trying to get a property under contract and wholesale it, it'll be hard to do this on the MLS. But Isaac, in a market like yours, if you get a great deal on the MLS, we can find a buyer. We have a ton of buyers in the Carolinas. So I can help with that.
Yeah, I
Let's
would
see.
say,
It looks
like you
like
were saying, John,
go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, I would say, like you were saying, 30 days is probably still kind of new. It's not really that long. It used to be a long time a few years ago, but 30 days is, I would say, you getting on up into the 60, 90, 120 will probably be the good people to go after. The last deal that we closed, they had it listed for 399. We came in at 340. Some relatives won't do that, but hey, you know the investor side of it, that's offered. And we end up selling on 350. So save them $50,000 just for asking. It had been out there for maybe 120, 150 days, and we just like, hey, why not? You never know.
So they came down $50,000 and you were able to, so if the investor would have called you and said, hey, I'm interested in putting in an offer on the property, but it's not going to be the asking price, what would you have said to that?
I would say submit the offer. Like you said, we're supposed to, if we receive an offer, we're supposed to submit all of them to the owner.
Yeah. So
They
if he
might not
says
be
submit
good
the
to us,
offer,
but
Isaac,
it's good to the seller.
yeah. Yeah. And Isaac, if he says submit the offer or he's willing to present the offer, we're going to make offers. If he says, no, and they'll tell you like my seller is not going to take anything under a certain price, then don't waste your time with those because those realtors probably are not even going to present the offer to the seller. Right? This is not worth wasting your time. But yeah, good, Ramon. I'm glad you're in here, man. Thank you for sharing that. All right. What else we got? Shamisia put a comment in the chat that she's look at her views, y'all. 21 million views on Facebook in January. She got those cute babies that she's posting on there, cute family pictures, videos. That's a ton of engagement. So that's an awesome January, ton of engagement. Hopefully that goes well. All right, what else we got? Let's go back to our chart. I'm gonna get one more person and then we'll talk about anything else. I see a few questions, so we'll address those as well. One more person. How'd your January go? Pick one of these areas and something you need to change. Y'all want me to pick somebody? Matthew, you still on there? Edwin, I remember Edwin. Edwin, you're in DFW, right? Are you doing any deals yet?
No, I just bought another house, but it's not an investment property. It's one I'm living on. It's in Lake Texoma. I'm trying to handle just even if the few rentals I got. I have a question for later, but yeah, that's what I've just been up to right now.
Okay. Okay, good deal. Thanks for checking in. Good
Yeah.
to chat with you.
Likewise.
All right, so yeah, we'll open up the floor. Let's talk, guys. What else are we working on? Hopefully this helps you all think through like January. Hopefully this helps you all think through January. Maybe there's an adjustment that you can make and maybe you get some stuff done. There's a bunch of things that I left off of the list, but Isaac, yeah, I can drop this file right now I'll drop it in the 90-day challenge group. So you'll have this. Drop it in there right now. All right. What else are y'all working on? What other questions you have? I see some questions in the chat. So the first question I see in there, how do we make deals from pre-foreclosures? How do we close on those? So it's a kind of a deep question there. Twana, do you want to go for that one? You want to just start off talking about how you make what you're looking for from a pre-foreclosure, or just share what your strategy is?
Yeah, sure. Like how I talk to them or
Yeah, like what's I would just stay high level because I get it, it's a deep question, but what are you looking for, or what is she asking? How do we close on those? So maybe just stay pretty high level.
I guess I don't quite understand the question, but just looking for what their problem is, which will help me to know kind of how to navigate it, whether they're open to carrying the note. Is that what you mean? Or wholesaling the deal, looking at the numbers?
Yeah, Shamisia, if you are on here, if you could come off of mute or maybe just add to that question in the chat to help clarify what you're asking. Is she still in the room? It looks like she's off of here. Maybe we can move on to a different question. I see Edwin has a question on the type of tenants and leasing type. So Edwin, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I have a question. Has anybody ever rented to international people? So I have a case where they're all from India, and I don't know if it's obviously different, but I want to do a background check. That might be difficult. I don't know if anyone's ever housed people. They're working for a company in the area and they're looking to stay there for a while, but I don't know if anyone's had experience. If the lease is different, expectations are different, experiences are different. Just curious.
So you're renting a property in the US, correct? In Texas?
Yes.
Okay. And you're asking about renting to people from India?
Yeah.
Okay. And you have other rentals, right?
Yeah. This is just a potential renter. I have a three bath, big house, and it's three of them. They're all working for this big company. They make good money, but again, I don't know how to. I don't know if the lease is different or how that works, or if I got to put something in the lease, or how would a back contract. I don't know. I don't know if it's different than in U.S. international might be. So just curious if anyone's ever long-term lease, residential lease.
Josh, you got something?
Hold on.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Edwin, I don't see why it matters that they're from India. I'm confused about that. I don't know what makes it international, but
They're just permanent residents, or they're not even permanent residents. They're like, I'm not trying to discriminate. I'm just wondering if it's different. Like I don't, because doing a background check, I don't know how if it's different because in the U.S. it's local. I don't know if there's like a specific one. I could look it up, but I don't know if there's any. My question is really it's just is it any different the process? If there's something I should be looking for, any different than any tenant from the U.S. Because again, they're not permanent residents or U.S. citizens.
So I would get copy of the passport, and I would probably get copy information for your bank because they got to pay you with US dollars here in Texas because they do petting horses. And they brought their horses down from Canada so they could buy and sell horses and train horses. They had the money. They got big bucks. They were able to show that, and then I was able to view their ID and their passport before I approved them to go ahead and move in. But that was it. I didn't have any kind of background check that told me there was some other things that told me they were pretty decent people, like they actually read the whole contract before they signed it and asked questions and did other nuances that let me know that they were legit people, that they weren't just move in and then not move out and cause trouble and all that stuff. So I had some pretty good,
yeah.
I don't know, just things that were like to me, like told me
they're asking about these questions, and they're asking good questions. They really were
Mhm.
going to take a property that was indicative of, as opposed to, I just need a place to stay so I can party. That's all.
Yeah, Edwin, I would make sure, like Josh is saying, that you get copies of their passport or their driver's license, patient documents. As far as the process, you're the owner of the property, so you determine what your criteria are. You determine if you're going to rent to them or not. So you come up with your own criteria. Now, if you're trying to do a background check, it sounds like that you know that they may not have a record here in the US
Right.
if you use like typical background checker stuff. I am not aware of a way to do an international background check, nor would I rent to someone if I thought I needed to do that. I think that you should use your lease, not any different type of lease. You should figure out if you want to do individual leases to the three of them or do one
That's what I
lease
was
that has
planning to do.
all three of them on it. That would be up to you. I would probably just do your due diligence and make sure that it is a long-term situation because it doesn't
Right.
seem like it would be worth doing this for a short-term kind of lease. If they haven't stayed together before, then that is added risk. They
That's what
haven't stayed in a house together before, then it's riskier to rent to three different individuals who haven't stayed together before than it is to rent to one family, that house and kids and a dog. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, it sounds fun. I'm assuming that you've got this posted and marketed online somewhere, and this is one of the tenants that came your way.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, just keep in mind that you should be interviewing multiple tenants as much as possible. That way you can make a good decision, right? I've told my team this recently. We shouldn't be taking the first applicant
Right.
come to us. Like we should be getting multiple applicants, showing the property to multiple people and choosing the best tenant, not choosing the first tenant that has the money or the first tenant that wants the property. So it sounds fun. And
Yeah, I got it's one of the people I've got it. It's been interesting. Like I even got one who was like, because the house is pretty big and the yard's big, and I'm no on it, but I'm just curious too. Is they want to make a preschool? They want to use it as a preschool, the house, and I don't know how the liability is, but I've heard of people doing home daycares. Like obviously, there's people that lie to the owner, and then there's some that have an agreement. I don't know if that's good or just too much liability, but that's another person I came across as well. I don't know
yeah,
if
so
anyone's.
check with your insurance and make sure that they're aware. Most of the time, they're not going to allow a commercial use of the property.
That's what I thought.
Um,
Yeah.
just make sure that you have a policy that covers that if you decide to go down that path. We do rent to people that do stuff like that, but there's going to be an increased rent to make up for the
Of
risk that we're
course.
taking. And
Okay.
most of the time, the rent is going to be commercial rent.
Mm,
If they end up doing it, then it's going to be worth getting an insurance policy to actually cover the risk. And most of the time, that's going to discourage them away because they're trying to rent the house for the rate that you've got listed online.
mm.
Yeah. Be careful with the daycares because most of the time,
That's
if
what I was
something
thinking.
happens, you're going to be liable, and your
Right.
insurance is not gonna cover a child dying in the house or swallowing a Skittle or something.
Yeah, I was kind of like not wanting to do it, but I was wondering if you've done it, if you've had any success, or is it just too much liability?
Yeah, we've done it, and we charge rent like we're charging it to a business,
Mm,
and then we go get an insurance policy that covers it.
gotcha. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. What else we got, y'all? We got a few more minutes here. What else are y'all working on? Maybe something coming up this month that you want to check in about? We got a few more minutes. Twana's, hey, I need to work on all this stuff. She's like, me too, Twana. I got to work on it too. Got to make more offers. That's my goal. Is to make more offers. All hearts clear. Anything else? February is a short month, so we got to get started. We can't have a delay. Can't wait for next week. Got to start now. If I can help y'all in any way, just shoot me a DM. If you're in the challenge group, stay active in that group this week. Pretty cool. Some should see some contracts. If y'all are making offers, sounds like Cheaty's the closest right now. It sounds like. Come on, Cheaty. We count on you. He's
Man,
got
I'm
a
trying, brother.
seller appointment this week. But no, seriously, y'all are all making progress. You just gotta figure out, okay, what do you want to toggle this month? Do you need to make more calls, send more text messages? Do you need to post on social media more? Do you need to make more offers? Maybe try some of these MLS conversations. But looking forward to see y'all's progress this morning. Hey, talk to y'all later. Let's have a good day.